Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. It is the day of the teacher sage. It is Mercury's day, Odin's day, the 4th of Libra, the 23rd of Vine, the 4th of Raven, and the 2nd of Hasmondier. In our astrology forecast, we have the sun in Libra, cardinal air, representing justice. The moon is fourth quarter Cancer, cardinal water, representing emotion. Mercury is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing linguistic skill. Venus is in Scorpio, fixed water, representing passion. Mars is in Cancer, cardinal water, representing seeking security. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, representing spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, cardinal earth, representing transformation. Then for our retrogrades, for Saturn, this is the time to reclaim your authority. For Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. For Neptune, reclaim your magic. For Pluto, reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. Our moon phase is the fourth quarter, so we need to be releasing what does not serve. For the Cancer moon, your do's are emotional release, family bonds, nurturing friends, and the don'ts are publicity, objective tasks, indulging in nostalgia and regret. So emotions may continue to run high today with the Cancer moon. So do be sure to harness the energies of Mercury and Virgo to articulate yourself as clearly and as precisely as possible. If difficult discussions are necessary today, proceed cautiously but honestly. And again, just like yesterday, if you or someone else feels a bit raw, maybe think about postponing some discussions for another day, or at least having that very actively aware that the the um, the strength and the volume of your emotions may not be commensurate with the actual cause. This could be a result of things building up over time, or just you could be reacting to the energies around you. I mean, these things are possible. Just bear in mind this. Make sure who you're talking to, at least if they're of our world, that they're also aware of this. And then maybe you can avoid some troubles in your communication, and you might be able to avoid some unnecessary arguments and hostile discussions. I'll put it that way. Now, for our tarot card, we hold the Strength card for today. It is from the Major Arcana. It represents persistent, far reaching impacts. It is the number 8 in the Major Arcana, which represents new beginnings. And the key words for strength are composure and controlled action, unshakable resolve, and different avenues of power. So the lion is, the king of the jungle, the king of the beast, and it represents regal sovereignty, royalty, all of these things. And you'll notice that in the picture we have the lion that's very fierce. Obviously, it has this yellow sphere underneath it that makes me think of the sun, and you have a human essentially kind of draped over it. Not so much controlling or directing it, but it is not in fear of it because the lion is under control. The lion is deciding what situation requires what kind of response, and understanding that there isn't just one way to respond to these things, that there are different factors to take into consideration, what is actually going to solve a problem, what point actually needs to be made, and when perhaps you just need to allow things to be let go of, just like, okay, that happened, that was stupid, time to move on and refocus my energies on something productive that actually matters, rather than necessarily answering every kind of insult. So that's a good card for us to really draw from today, to perhaps to contemplate if we feel our own emotions going out of control, or thinking of the metaphorical nuclear option to every problem that comes along. Not really what's necessary today. The strength might help us remind us to be a little bit more restrained in our actions. Then today's Celtic triad, it reads three things which do not suffer trifling: health, prosperity, and time. So I think our health is the most immediate example of what transpires when we F around, because sooner or later our bodies will make sure that we find out. And it's usually brutal, and it's usually requiring massive lifestyle changes, massive consequences, massive inconvenience, when, it could have been avoided if we had been a bit more moderate in our habits or had taken care of some things at an earlier stage. And then prosperity, that is a result of hard work, dedication, and having productive results. The lazy people, the incompetent people, they cannot hope to achieve it. They might be able to manipulate their way to taking someone else's prosperity, but they will never be able to actually create their own, which I think is a source of grave dishonor. And then time. Time can never be recovered once lost. If you go around wasting time, not, and when I'm talking about wasting time, I'm not talking about, well, any time you spend away from work is wasted time. Oh, dear gods, no. Remember, I'm a Leo. I believe in balance in life. I believe there's a time to work, there's a time to play, there's a time to rest, there's time for all of these things. And these things in their proper measure are not wastes of time. They are the enhancement and the good use of time. When I'm talking about wasting time, it's about putting time and energy towards pursuits that are ultimately meaningless, things that are dragging you down, things that are creating problems in your life, things that are preventing you from actually attending to the necessary business of your life or are preventing you from going out there and actually living. And so, wasting time in that fashion, that's really what I have in mind. And that's this overall sense and feeling I get from from this triad is that if it's not going towards the betterment and the building up of life, you are in serious trouble. You might be trifling with time. And of course, there's consequences for that. We never have as much time as what we imagine we do. Then today's correspondences are about optimism. For that, the color is yellow, the plant is the hyacinth, the animal is the rooster, and the crystal is citrine. Now, just to be clear, optimism is not about perpetual, perky happiness all of the time. The people like that, I suspect, are on medication or substances of some sort, or that they are really, really good liars, or at least that they're liars. Because that's not what optimism is. And I'm really sick of the bastardization that is mischaracterizing optimism. Because optimism is really seeing possibilities for productive action and pursuing it. And that's honestly what positivity is about as well. It's about what can be done, what can be usefully achieved, what can be accomplished. And, I know I won't go into my other sermon on that. I give it a bit too often anyway. But, anyways, optimism is about seeing those possibilities, taking action, pursuing action, doing something productive about a situation. That is optimism. It's not, I'm happy, and everyone who isn't happy is probably a bad person. Yeah, we don't do that. Ick. Let's see. Okay, finally got cooperation from the slides. Today's practice, September is winding down. What has been your primary takeaway from the month? How can your natal Mercury sign energy be yoked with Mercury's current position for productive effect? And your heart chakra. Where does your heart lie these days? Do be honest with yourself. It doesn't, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to tell anybody else. It doesn't matter whether or not other people are informed of this, but it does matter whether or not you know. So, do you know? Are you being honest with yourself? And then today's Hermetic principle is polarity. Where have you noticed impediments to polarity, things that are interfering with it? And then the witch's pyramid, we're looking at the east wall, which is the air element and thought. What is your mental state now that we are going into Samhain season? I think that's something to really be mindful of. And I also found this lovely poem on Pinterest. It's from My Darling Diary. It's a Dear September, meet us with the joy of summer's last sunsets and fall's first hello, but be extra careful and don't hurry us out of the now. Please be gentle as we wait the cool breeze and turning leaf as summer dances with autumn. Dear September, sweep us into fall. And this really resonated with me because I feel like all of September I have been waiting for it to sweep us into fall. We've had a lot of unusually hot weather, which I have been very resentful of. Today, on the day of recording, it's supposed to be quite hot, which again, I'm resentful of that. So, waiting for that glorious moment when the heat waves finally yield and we finally have a bit more of that September energy taking us into the depths of fall to where we can really start to enjoy it. I'm looking forward to that. If you are in an area of the country that has also been similarly persecuted with temperatures lately, perhaps these are relatable sentiments to you as well. And then for our journal prompt, have you made your living room comfortable for both seen and unseen visitors? Now, I ask this because at Samhain, it's not outside of the realm, and it is customary for departed family members, sometimes departed friends, their energy to walk through the dwelling. So, are you doing things to make them comfortable? Even if you don't go so far as, having a dedicated altar for your ancestors or some kind of shrine for a friend that you've lost. Now, if you do, that is absolutely fantastic. I am thrilled. I wish you would show me pictures. That would be very exciting, just because I like to see what people can do. But just having family mementos around, perhaps a keepsake from that meant something to you and a friend who might have passed through the veil. Having those things around in your home, not only does it make it more personal and more home like, but also if they should pay you a visit as the veil starts to thin, it reminds them that they are still there in your heart. Their life still mattered, and they can also see that what you've done to move forward since their departure. So it's just a little something to think about. And on that note, have a magical day, everyone. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.